First off, where's my water? This one needs more than anything. God, I forget how cool I look all the time. You know what? Even if they are broken glasses. All right. We're getting this tier list started. First things first, we have to decide how exactly I'm going to do this. Because I don't want to do like S and da 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 da, because this is going to be a tier list more of kind of my favorite games more than what I think is well designed. Because sometimes a game that even just straight sucks, I'll just love it for some reason, even if I can recognize it's flawed to hell. And I have to also admit, my friend Marvelist gave me this tier list, and I don't know most of the games. Alright, so S tier will just be games I love beyond belief. The A tier will be games I like a lot. B will be games, well, I should get a little bit more specific actually. This will be games that could have been great, but I came too late. C, play with friends only. D will be play with friends reluctantly. E will be prefer not to play. And will games I hate and wish would burn it. Hell no, not for me. Alright. Oh wait, no, this one's not for me. It's just games I haven't played, because that's 3/4 of the list. Buenas noches, mi amor. Okay. Man, Marvelous, you're right though. I think I'm gonna, God, I don't need to add any more games, but I need to go back and try to get some of these and just to try them out. Like, I don't know what this is, but I haven't played it. 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 Hey, there, you'll think me there, weeby. Oh man, I'm so embarrassed, but you all did turn me straight weeb, and thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Is it just on my screen that my stream is frozen, or is? Okay, hold on. We're doing a reload so I can see the chat. So I probably would like a lot of them, because in all honesty, I can't believe how much I actually do enjoy a lot of these anime games, despite the fact they're above my mechanical skill. Anyone who saw me play freaking Grand Blue knows I freaking have to mash the button 57 times just to get a move out. God damn. Okay, this is Central Fiction, right? That would be games that could be great, but I came too late, because I really enjoy the single player, but I basically just play Ragna. I have one combo, and I just go through the story mode. On the online, there seems to be an intermediate player, but there's just no beginner player base, so it's just not something I want to throw myself into. But I really feel like this could have been great, and yeah, actually, I like this so much. Had I been there when it came out and there was still a beginner and intermediate player base, I actually might have stuck around to actually try to learn some of the more mechanically difficult combos and stuff. I don't know what this is. Brawlhalla. I have to admit, that's a play with friends only. I absolutely loved it playing with Marty the Moth and freaking Sonny and stuff over at his house over in Salt Lake City. Super fun, but it's just not a game I would play by myself. Brawl, this isn't like a Smash Brothers Brawl game, isn't it? I don't think so, so I'm just gonna put that down there. Bust a Move. Okay, I love Bubble Bobble, but to me, Bust a Move is a puzzle game, not a fighting game. I guess it kind of is a puzzle fighting game. But well, I've played Bust a Move, but I just don't consider it a fighting game. I'm gonna just put it here because am I wrong? Is there? Okay, now I'm gonna have to look this up because the Bust a Move I'm thinking of just isn't a fighting game, but maybe. Yeah, it's a puzzle game, not a fighting game. Play with friends only, I guess, but I haven't played that. Isn't that a Blaze Blue 2 Chaos Code? Probably good. Prefer not to play. No, this Gale is Under games I despise beyond belief. I hate Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I've never been more disappointed by a game in my life. I got out of fighting games a long time ago, and this game came out. My friend Tony, he got it, and we got the old crew together that we used to always couch play and everything, and literally within half a round I was like, this sucks, and just everyone agreed, and we dropped it. And so I've played very little of it, but I've never ever, I literally probably played 3 matches, but I've never ever just instantly had such a bad experience and disappointment with the game. So I probably should give it more of a chance, but I'm not going to. Screw you. You wrecked my life, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. You wrecked my life. We got the crew together. Okay, this was supposed to be an epic event, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, an epic event. They should have done Tekken Cross Street Fighter first, because it's very obvious that the Tekken developers are better at putting 2D characters into a 3D game, even though Akuma is annoying, than vice versa. And I think Akuma's only annoying because I'm totally back to being a noob in Tekken. Dive Kick, I've heard of it, but I haven't played it. DOA 6, I haven't played it. But I'm actually a fan of DOA 1 through 4, and I don't know if I played 5. Maybe that was 1. But with my favorite being DOA 2++, Fantasy Strike. I actually think I would like that because it's super simple, and then I'm a pick up and play fighting gamer. Even though Marvelous is slowly converting me to the hardcore side, I'm rejecting it. I'm actively rejecting it. I've been consuming some FGC content, and I have seen the crap they talk about as casuals, and this is war. This is war. Casual scrub squad for life. Can't even talk. That's how mad I am. Hey, what's going on, Charlotte and Kyoto? Don't you put Brawlhalla up there? How dare you? Crossin', if you get Brawlhalla and you want to go on it, look, it's play with friends. I will play with friends. Oh, that is Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Which one was that for? I don't know my Smash. I did play a lot of Smash, and I respect that it's played competitively, and I seen it, and I don't want to diss the Smash community like I've seen. I've watched, like I said, I've been watching some FGC videos, and it seems like they get unfairly dissed. It definitely is a hard game to master, but for me, it was totally we used to have this friend that we would carry around a GameCube. I don't remember what Smash it was, and we'd make fun of him. You're more of an acquaintance. We actually saw him oh, he's taking his lunchbox over to go play Smash with his friend. And we found out that he was playing 1v1 with items off, and it blew our mind. We didn't even realize that was an option. So I do respect it, but to us, Smash was a complete party game, and I think a lot of Smash players don't like hearing that. But our favorite mode was to turn items on max and then turn off everything except for Pokeballs and have Poke Dodgeball, and everyone's throwing stuff at each other. And I never would, except for maybe the single player story mode or whatever, I just never even thought to play Smash with less than 3 people. But so I'm gonna put play with friends only, but I do not want to seem like a Smash hater. Which one is it? So this Brawl, that's Super Smash Brawl, right? Tony is here. Tony, you remember when you brought that game over. We had people over. It was supposed to be the triumphant return to fighting games, and it sucked. Don't try to tell me any different. I will sit there and freaking argue with you endlessly. EX Player, I've never played. Cross, what? I think this would be behind Blaze Brew's Central Fiction, but I really enjoyed Cross Tag Battle, and it actually led me into Under Night In Birth, which honestly I couldn't believe it. I was having so much fun with this in just the single player mode, and I played very little of it. But that's another game I would put there, games that could have been great, but I came too late. Oh, Capcom vs. SNK 2 is games I love beyond belief. Marvelous actually converted me to DBZ Fighter. I was complaining about, I always whine about games. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Oh, I got to see what Tony said though. Okay, nothing. Good. You know Tony. You know about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Don't try to sell me on that crap. Don't try to sell me on that. When I first played Dragon Ball FighterZ, I was actually like having little Nintendo Fever nerd rages, because I was like, what? You just press A, or whatever the name of the buttons is, and like, you get Kienzons and stuff, yet I do a super, and it's just a Kienzon. But after I got used to it, I was like, actually, no, this game's really good. Like, really well designed, I like it a lot. KI, just, oh man, just prefer not to play. Like, it has, I don't know what you actually call it, but the oh man, Tony's gonna kill me for putting it there. It just has that quick time event combo system I don't enjoy, and like I'm a big mark for animation, and it just has the crappiest like I call it teleport animation, where they're like poof, 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 and it just instantly in one frame switches to a completely different position. And I'm like, your combo system is a freaking quick time event basically. You have all the time in the world to animate these moves properly, and I just think they, I guess to speed the game up or something, but no, I wasn't feeling Killer Instinct, but I did have a little bit of fun playing with Marvelous and Wraith, so actually maybe, but it's actually also one of the only games I've ever uninstalled, so no, I just prefer not to play it. King of Fighters 14, I bet you I would like it a lot, but I haven't. MK, man, I would, I want to almost change this because I would play MK. I did even play it a bit by myself, so it's not a play with friends only. We'll put it mostly. But yeah, no, it was good. I liked it and everything. But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, like after 3, or I guess after the Ultimate Trilogy, whatever the hell it was called, like I really just fell off. It used to be my series of all series. Marvel's Capcom 2, this was huge around me. Tony will remember. Tony, roast this man. What is this? You making a list? Yes, I'm making a list. This is the ultimate tier list. I would play with friends, but this actually maybe should be, no, because I didn't come late. I don't know, I just didn't feel it when everyone else did, and everyone else got so much better than me, so I'd play it and everything, but it wasn't my thing. Marvel Capcom Infinite, I've played a little bit, not much, so I'm putting that play with friends reluctantly. Soul Calibur 2, for the purposes of this isn't going to be Soul Calibur 2, this is going to be the greatest game of all time. No, greatest fighting game of all time, Soul Blade. So ignore that it says Soul Calibur 2, this is Soul Blade. This is the funnest game ever. Remember, ignore, it's not Soul Calibur 2, this represents Soul Blade. And yeah, I beyond love it. It was a throwback to a time when competitive wasn't really around, so fun was prioritized over balance. So in Soul Calibur 2, every character had, I think it was 9 or 10 weapons, and they would be vastly different. I just can't even, like, Huang had a sword that was, the blade was invisible, except when you swung, it still had, like, the light, like, the trail behind it. And it was 50% longer than his normal sword, so it felt like you were freaking, like a Jedi with a Nodachi lightsaber. I hope Nodachi's the long katana, right? I wouldn't want to piss off the Metatron. So and it was just awesome. Then they'd have, like, the sword breaker, and it'd be really weak, but it would do super amounts of damage to the weapon. So you just have fun breaking your friends' weapons and leaving them fighting you with their fists. And then Taki had the kunai, and it was fastest weapon in the game, and it sped her up so much where it turned like a game that had like 3-4 hit juggles into like one that had like 9, 10, 11, 12 hit juggles, because it literally made her 3 times faster. Like, well, I don't actually know the amount of faster, and she recovered so much faster, but it did such weak damage that when you use the kunai, you basically did almost no damage. So your whole goal was to do these long juggles that would get them in the ring out. And like, yeah, just Soul Blade, because everyone had the different weapons, and the weapons were just so vastly different that it was beyond, I can't even tell you how much fun I had with it. Soul Calibur 6 I just installed yesterday, and I made a little character and played for literally like 15 minutes, but then I had to go to sleep. So I haven't actually played it. So this Soul Calibur 6 for me will actually be representing Soul Calibur 2, which I remember the Soul Calibur 2, not 6, is games I like a lot, and I bet you I will like Soul Calibur 6 a lot. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. AEW Games really is whenever you jack about games. I'm choosing if you really like that sword. Man, Tony, where are you? You gotta back me up. It was OP as hell. Actually, no, we actually figured out that you took a lot of chip, like a massive amount of chip damage from Huang's sword, but when we first unlocked Huang's sword and you had the sword that's 50% longer, and you could only see the sword, you couldn't even see the sword, you could only see the trail behind it when it was swung, so it was actually kind of hard to judge distance. It was the most OP thing in the world for a little bit, but then we figured out it actually wasn't as great as we thought. Street Fighter 3, again, I'm so glad Tony's here. I loved Street Fighter, the first, I can't remember what it's called, and Second Impact, and I actually haven't played as much Third Strike as I played Second Impact, and but this is a game that, at the arcades at that time, like, there was Tekken, and there was the Versus games, and like, or were the Versus games even around? But no one played Street Fighter 3 except for my friend Tony, so I don't actually have that much experience with it, and I'd still say it was one of my favorite games ever. I'm a big mark for animation. I think the animation in Street Fighter Third Strike has never been matched in anything, and to this day I go on and I get crap kicked by all these really good players and have the time of my life in it. I love the parries. I think they're 10 frames or whatever, so they're not the hardest thing to do, but they're still skillful. Of course, this is responsible for the Evo Moment 37, which, I mean, even casual scrubs like me, will always mark out for. Street Fighter Alpha 2 was a game that my friend Tony used to whoop the crap out of me on, along with this other guy Greg, but it was still great. Street Fighter 5, I played Street Fighter 4 for like 10 hours. I borrowed it from someone, I can't remember who, and I was loving it. Like, I was loving Juri Han. I went through her combo trials and everything, but the Street Fighter 5 was actually coming out soon. It's like, I'm just going to wait for that. And then with my eldest son, doesn't live with me anymore, I bought that, and it was going to be like our bonding game. And like, I don't know what was going on, but like the rhythm of combos and stuff had changed. And I was like, man, how come 2 months ago I was doing like these combo trials where like you have to bounce them off the wall and do EX pinwheels, and then in this one, I couldn't even do like Chun-Li's like bread and butter combos, like pathetic styles. I was like, what's going on? And so I heard that it has some kind of delay on the inputs. Maybe that was it, but it just, the rhythm of the combos was so off, and they were so bare bones that like I literally spent like 2 or 3 hours, and I played a couple matches against my eldest before he left, and then so I heard it's changed so much that it's good now, or even great now, but I have to put this on Play with Friends reluctantly based on my experience back when it first came out. Skullgirls, I think, would probably be one of my favorites ever, despite the fact how mechanically complex it is. And I love the art design, but what Skullgirls for me, just I can listen to the game forever. Whoever did the sound design is awesome. Just from the voices to the little like the little sound effects and everything. And unique character designs. I'm loving Double, this like Eldritch nightmare nun thing, and like, so I'm pretty sure I'd love Skullgirls if I was back when it first came out and it had like a beginner and intermediate player base. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Oh. Now I played Championship Edition way more than Turbo, but I did really like Turbo. But I'm gonna have to. I want this to be a little bit of an exclusive list, so I'm going to put it here, but this is really great. I have to put Tekken here, 7 here for now, but only because I think I spent 9 hours with it, and I'm trying to learn a completely new character than I normally played. But this could probably go up here, but with the limited experience I've had for it right now, it goes right here. Teenage Mutant. Why does this sound so familiar, but I don't remember it? Alright, hold on, we gotta look up this. Tony, did we play when did this come out? Arms is pretty good, but very basic. I probably like it then. You got Tony rage driving. Oh no, he commented above, let's see it. Tegan, I'm driving while watching this, just so you know my rage has reached an all-time high. Tony, good. Let's come over here, or when you get home, you get on, and we will argue to death. Oh, I do remember Tournament Fighters now. Yeah, that was not bad. I don't remember being crazy, though. We will argue about Street Fighter Cross Tekken forever, because, god dang it, like... Did you see the moveset they gave Christy? And also, I remember the game being impossible to jump in. And any game that has weak jumps or strong anti-airs is automatically going to be iffy with me. It isn't... yeah, okay. Get home quick, Tony, because I got some rage about that game, too. So this game, I'm just going to put... I know I played it, but I don't really remember it. Ooh, Vampire Savior goes up. Games I like a lot. The one problem with this game is that I play BB Hood, and it's a little known fact, but whenever you choose BB Hood in Darkstalkers 3 Vampire Savior, you automatically adopt the personality of O-Dog from Menace to Society. So this causes problems for me, because I pick BB Hood and all of a sudden I'm, what mother, huh? You sorry about my mama, mother? Like, oh yeah, it turns me into a whole different person, a person that no one likes. So, Tournament Fighters was the first game with super moves. No, it wasn't, Tony. No, it wasn't. I keep hearing this. First, I just saw a video a couple days ago that said Samurai Showdown. Now you're saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first game that had super moves was Mutant Fighters, Tony. You played this with me. Remember Amazon, Minotaur, the Dragon or Hydra or whatever it was? They only had it in Paradise. It had like a 2 or 3 week run, but we played it. We liked it. It was kind of a hybrid wrestling and fighting game. That was the first one with super moves. And I remember, because it was the first time I ever saw him, was Amazon throws him way up into the sky, and then she like grabs him and like almost like an ong bak, like holds him there and then just smashes down on the ground with her knee in the chest. It was awesome. Actually, God, I need to freaking, even though I have to emulate it, I don't care. Like, I need to get a hold of Mutant Fighters. I'm willing to bet I'd still enjoy that, but I don't know if it's held up or not. No, I haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home. They made King Basic Tournament Fighters for the first game with super moves. Okay. But no, the first game with super moves that I know of was Mutant Fighters. It came out shortly after Street Fighter 2. And I know it is kind of a wrestling hybrid, a wrestling game and fighting game hybrid, but if they're putting Bust a Move in freaking fighting game, then yeah, Tournament Fighters definitely gets in there. And, I mean, not Tournament Fighters, Mutant Fighters. And Mutant Fighters was the first fighting game I ever played that had stage hazards, like the old Dead or Alive did. Guilty Gear Xrd, I'm willing to bet I'd like it. I've heard it's very mechanically complicated, but I freaking love Strive so much. Oh, Garu Mark of the Wolves, games I like a lot, but I barely played this. I don't think I actually played this in the arcade. I think I only played the home versions, and we had a lot of fun. Accent R, no. I've only played the first 2 Guilty Gears. Is this Hokuto no Ken? I've never played it, but I've seen combo videos of it, and it's the most ridiculously dumb thing ever. So that's prefer not to play. Injustice, I'd play with friend 2, and play with friends reluctantly. I thought Injustice 1 was a little bit better, but I'm going to put it there as well. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, never played. It looks like one of those ridiculous games, and maybe I'd like it. Karnov's Revenge, why does that sound so familiar? Oh, yes! I think this is the one, this guy has this move where he spreads out his belly fat, and it's, I swear to God, it's like the most ridiculous crap. You just cannot hit him when he's in it. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I actually do remember liking this game, so from the very limited memory I have of it, I'm going to put it here. 13, I've never played, but I bet you I'd like it. What is this one? King of Fighters 2008? I don't think I played that one either. King of Fighters 98 would be... no, it would be games I like a lot. I liked 98 and 97. Wait, is King of Fighters on twice? Am I? Okay, well, I'm just going to put those next to each other because I don't understand what the difference is. I don't know what this game is. I don't know what this game is. I've never played Melty Blood. But from the looks of it, it probably should go and prefer not to play, but I'll give it a chance. Super Smash Melee with friends. Turn on Pokeballs, play a game of dodgeball. Mortal Kombat would be games I like a lot. Mortal Kombat X would also be on games I like a lot. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 would be play with friends mostly. Nidaga, I've never played, but I think I would like this just because I like the Persona characters in Cross Tag. PlayStation Battle Royale All-Stars, prefer not to play. It was actually super fun, except for the elimination system was garbage, like where you had to eliminate with the super, so I didn't like it. Project M, isn't that just an online version of Melee? I've never played it, so I'm going to put it there. Pokken Tournament, I've never played that. Power Rangers, I'll put that with play with friends mostly, but actually I was very much so enjoying it. Puyo Puyo Tetris, never played. Punch Planet, never played. Rising Thunder, it actually looks like something I might like. Rivals Ether, never played. But I'm not a huge fan of platformer fighters, or whatever the hell they're called, so it'd probably be put somewhere in here if I did. I don't know what that is. Samurai Showdown 2 is going to definitely be, yeah, games I like a lot. I almost wonder if that should be on the classics. Yeah, actually, no, Samurai Showdown 2 has to be put in the classics. Samurai Showdown Special, I don't know. Street Fighter Alpha 3, that will be right next to the other one, as games Tony and Greg destroyed me at on a regular basis, but I think I liked 2 better. And everyone, just a reminder, this is Soul Blade, not Soul Calibur 2, and this is Soul Calibur 2, not Soul Calibur 6. Street Fighter Plus EX 2. I don't think I played that one. Super Smash Bros. That would definitely be play with friends mostly. I've never played Ultimate. Tatsunaka vs. I did play this, but I can barely remember. I just remember choosing that bird guy, and I can't remember what it was. Everyone's telling me it was on Wii, but I'm like, man, I only had a couple games for Wii, and this wasn't one of them. So I'm just going to put it here. Tekken Dark Resurrection goes to prefer not to play, which I know is going to be strange because I love Tekken 5. I love Tekken 5 to death. But Dark Resurrection made it so that Christie's forward 3-4 only juggles on counter hit, and it wasn't actually even that big of a deal, but it literally caused me such nerd rage that I quit. Like literally, this is when I quit fighting games, was when this came out. Like, Not just because the 4-3-4 didn't go anymore, but Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was play with friends mostly. Me and Helico and Australian played that, and it was good and everything, but I actually like Tekken single player better. Tekken Tag, I used to just get crap kicked by this kid DJ relentlessly, so it'll go there. Tekken, do they not have normal Tekken 5? Oh no, oh no. What? Okay, everyone, I do like Tekken 3, but it's not the Tekken that got me into Tekken. It was actually Tekken 4 that got me into Tekken. So this is going to represent Tekken 5 normal. So that's not 3, this is Tekken 5 normal, not Dark Resurrection. Them Fighting Herds, never played. Ultra. That will go with games that could be great, but I came too late. Vanguard Princess, never played. Virtua Fighter. Back in the arcade, specifically when Tekken 3 came out, it was there was like a separation between Virtua Fighter and Tekken players when I was on the Tekken side, so that goes there. Never played that. Oh wait, no, not never played. This goes to prefer not to play. I'm repping Tekken till I die. Virtua Fighter. It's actually probably really good. Everyone used to always say, like there's guy Ed at this video game store called Microplay, and then they switched it to Gamer's Edge, and he was just like known to be kind of the best gamer around us, like that was his reputation, and he always would say that Virtua Fighter was the deepest fighting game ever made. Virtua Fighter 3 specifically, I want to say. Puyo Puyo Champions, I never played. Pocket Rumble. Footsies, never played. I don't know what this is. Never played. Never played. I'm just gonna put this because it's a Street Fighter 4. I don't know what the remix is. I'm gonna put that over here. Where's the other Street Fighter? Am I blind? Oh wait, no. I should put that there. Where did I put Street Fighter 4? Oh, right there. Games could be great. I'll just put that one there. And Super Smash for the Wii U and the 3DS. I don't think I ever played them. Yeah, that's about it. Soul Blade, Capcom vs. SNK2, I absolutely loved. But where's SVC Chaos? Where's oh man, what is it called? Freaking Mutant Fighters should be on there, honestly, even though I only played it for a couple weeks. The one where it's called Dong Dong Never Die. No, I never played that. It was Mario. Please Google Dong Dong Never Die. Okay, I'll try. No, Red Earth. Red Earth, again, that was one of those games that had a super short arcade run near me. I just remember, what was the witch's name? There was a witch and a ninja, and I liked them, but I didn't understand a boss rushdown. I was like a single-player fighting game, so I don't know where Red Earth would be. I'd have to play it again now, because I just remember back then it was like a confusing experience that you just, like a boss rushdown single-player fighting game, it just was like, what is this? Like, Dong Never Die. This is either a game that I will absolutely despise, or it would be one of the greatest things ever based on weirdness alone. Okay, let's see some gameplay. Let's see some gameplay.
¿Sabías que todos los viajes son monitoreados por satélite? Diri simplifica tu día.
RDN Online 是一款沙盒类 MMORPG， 你将在其中谱写属于自己的故。
Holy God.
Holy crap, Chris sent me
Can you
this.
mashing them buttons?
You can DHC? Oh my god.
Mashing them
Oh
buttons.
my god. You got a cigarette.
Yes! Look at this shit.
I've never played. I can guarantee you that in the old couch gaming days, or maybe not in the arcade, I wouldn't want to spend quarters on this, but in the old couch gaming days, we would have loved this, just based off of how freaking weird it is.
That was awesome. Swag. Hell yeah.
I haven't played it though, so I got to keep it where it is. But yeah, I think I would have enjoyed that on the home console. It's not one you're gonna be putting 50 cents into, but. You know what's weird is, well, I guess it's not one of the best ever, but like they left out so many old games. Like, remember Pocket Fighter? Like, I think it was called Pocket Fighter. It was like the puzzle game that they had, but then they took like the chibi characters from that puzzle game and they actually made a fighting game out of it. We played the hell out of that. Weapon Lord or Bloodstorm? I did play Bloodstorm. I don't remember Weapon Lord. You know what would actually be up here, but most people didn't enjoy it. But I did was Time Killers. I really liked Time Killers for a while, so that would probably be with like. Man, I don't think I made my tiers very well now that I look at it, because they're just like. There should probably be one that games I like a lot. Can I make another tier? Can I add a tier? I don't know how these tier things work. Okay, well, in between games I like a lot, and there'd be Time Killers. Actually, I guess Time Killers would be games I liked a lot. It was fun at the time, but I played it years later and did not hold up at all. And there's some annoying things about Time Killers, and that you just be beating someone. Well, I know, but it worked both ways. But you could just randomly chop off someone's head and end the match, but it was kind of fun. And then like sometimes they just lose an arm, and then you just got the chainsaw guy going like that, and like. Yeah, Matrix and Mantaz, those were my two people. I know they don't want to put doubles probably on this, but also Darkstalkers 1 and 2 need to be up there, because I swear to God in my life, I'm not making this up, every anime game can have all of its DNA traced back to Darkstalkers 1 and 2. And they also should have put X-Men Children of the Atom on here, because even though it wasn't a versus game itself, every Marvel versus or Capcom versus anything can trace its DNA back to the original X-Men Children of the Atom. And X-Men Children of the Atom was, hey, what's going on, Vita? Thank you for the follow. X-Men Children of the Atom was like a weird game where, like, in all honesty, the graphics weren't that much better than like a Darkstalkers or something, but like for some reason in people's minds they were, because like even my dad would be like, I'm gonna go down to the arcade with you, I gotta see this game that looks like you're playing a live comic book. And like, so X-Men Children of the Atom actually had I don't know, it got a pretty big player base on the weekends and everything and this was in kind of the dying days of the arcade. Like, they weren't fully dead yet, but it was like the last days of the arcade for me. Like, there's literally the versus games and Tekken, and like anything else was just some casual thing. But I also think they should put Karate Fighter on here just to respect I believe it was the original fighting game. There might have been one before it. It wasn't that good, and it had the weirdest hitboxes because you just kick a guy and just go right through him. But they probably should have put Karate Fighter on here as just, like I said, it wasn't that good, but. And the funny thing about Karate Fighter is a lot of the times, maybe I think people these days don't realize how bad Street Fighter 1 sucked. And like literally, Karate Fighter, which came out way before Street Fighter 1, probably earned the arcade more money than Street Fighter 1 did. I think Street Fighter 1 had a 1 or 2 week run in our arcade. It was really bad. So I'm so surprised, maybe in other places it was popular, I'm always so surprised that it got a sequel. When Street Fighter 2 came out, I didn't actually even realize it was a sequel to Street Fighter 1. They were so different. Doggies. What are the... Yeah, I do need to. What are y'all doing? Shit Fist of Fighter. Arcade. I know I played the Jackie Chan fighting game, but I don't really remember it. No, you're right. Karate Fighter was first. I thought so. Pit Fighter would get its own... Man, Pit Fighter is the most embarrassing thing for me, because for some reason I felt like it should be a great game and it just wasn't. But I convinced myself, like, no, it's not that the game's bad, you're just not playing it right. So I must have sunk like $20 or $30 literally into Pit Fighter just before I realized, like, oh no, this game just sucks. What they should have on here is Street Fighter the movie, the arcade game, because for me it sucked, but again, my friend Tony that's driving home right now, he stuck with that game. And he managed to start playing it in a way that made it look good. Like, he was doing these crazy juggle corner combos and everything, and I was like, dang, like, you, like, literally, you make this game look like it's fun, and it's one of the worst things ever. I don't know how he did it. There's another game he did that with, too, called Versus, for the PlayStation 1, I think. And I was kind of excited, it looked cool when it came out. I thought it was going to be some Tekken. And there's something weird about the blocking or something. There's something I wrote off about the game and I didn't like it. He stuck with that game Versus, and it was one of those things. He started to be able to play the game in a way that like made it look like it was awesome, like absolutely awesome. So they should have some shout outs to these weird little games. But again, I know that they probably don't want to make too long of a list. You don't want too many repeats and everything. And also, again, I know they don't want repeats, but they should just have Championship Edition up here, because Championship Edition, more so than the original Street Fighter, is what put Street Fighter on the map. It was like, Street Fighter was popular, Championship Edition revived the arcades. I'm trying to think what else. And yeah, I'd put all the Tekkens somewhere, probably in like games I like a lot or that, but like Tekken 1, 2, I wasn't really into. They still this like floaty movement and everything. And then 3, Tekken 3 was the first time a non-Capcom game became like the game at the arcade. So I do give it a lot of respect, but it wasn't what got me in there. And remember, this Tekken 3 for me is Tekken 5, and they should put Tekken 4 on this too, because even though it was weird as far as Tekken goes, I loved it because it was one of those times where, like, again, man, I don't want to diss the competitive scene, but it was before the competitive scene wrecked innovation in games, like straight up, because like it had asymmetrical levels, you'd have sloping surfaces, it was just so weird. And I actually thought, oh man, actually they're missing a lot of games now. Power Stone, Guys, Tobal. Yeah, this is a very incomplete list. Guys would be somewhere up here. Tobal 2 had a secret society that, again, I'm reverting to my friend Tony was part of, and it was the one gaming community I've ever seen where they didn't want other people to be in it. They literally like tried to keep it a secret, like, hey, don't tell anyone, but I got Tobal 2. I don't want anyone to know. But like, and so online it seems like Tobal 1 is remembered so much more fondly, but for me, it was Tobal 2, because like not only the fighting, but going through and dungeon crawling with Tony and everything, and then this weird, and it was before really there's the internet, so I don't know how he was finding these stuff out, like it was GameFAQs message boards or BBSs or something, but like, yeah, Tony was like part of this, the super secret Tobal 2 community, but don't tell anyone I said that, he might kill me. I know too much, Tony, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tell people how great Tobal 2 was. I know you want to keep that experience to yourself, you greedy bastard. But so the Arena Fighters, that's where I thought Tekken 4 was going to go, when it had asymmetrical level design. Like literally, there's this one underground level where there's like a pillar that was closer on the 2-player side than on the 1-player side, and it would send people into rages. And I'm like, how are you raging about that when you have a just frame laser cutter and Steve Fox running around here? Like, and that's actually another thing. Sorry to keep babbling, but another thing is people keep talking about how OP Steve Fox was in Tekken 4, and he was, because remember, right, he had like an 8-frame jab when everyone else had 10 or something, I can't remember, and he was a problem, but Jin was the major problem. And at first, Tekken 4 was actually the first fighting game that made me actually realize how bad I was at fighting games, because once all the Korean kids came over, they came over with like these techniques, like the Korean backdash or whatever, like they just played the game in a completely different way, and they were the ones that started to be able to the just frame laser cutter like every single time. But before that, Jin, even before the laser cutter Jin became a thing, I think we nicknamed it Jazz Hands Jin, Tony, you gotta remind me. But Jin had the best parry in the history of the planet, where in Tekken 4 you jabbed like 1-2, 1-1, 1-2, like you jabbed all the time. I don't know if it's still played like that, but like around us, that's how it was played. And Jin had this parry where he'd go like this, and like, you just couldn't do anything about it. You could not punch him high. It was just impossible. So we called it Jazz Hands Jin, Jazz Hands Jin, because it's like Like that's all they do, and they'd sit there and they'd wait for you to jab, and it's just jazz hands Jin, and then Laser Cutter Jin came along, and Steve Fox was a problem in Tekken 4, but people just got used to him. It was really Jin was the problem in Tekken 4, and in Tekken 5 was actually where Steve Fox was super OP, because again, like I wasn't good enough to do it, but there'd be people like. They like sidestep and then do his like 4 or whatever. That, cause you know how with Steve his kicks are like, you know, he bobs and weaves or whatever. They'd like you'd go for something and they'd sidestep and then do the bob and weave and they'd get to the side of you and they'd hit you and it would put you in a stun state forever. And then they could just literally like just keep doing that again and again and again and again and again, and like I don't even actually know if it was an infinite or if it just did that much damage, but I think it was an infinite. But like, yeah, if they got to the side of you and they hit this little like, God, if I remember right, it was like a little like body hook or something, like a liver punch or something, and it would destroy you. And like, it wasn't one of those things you could get every single time. But again, when the Korean players came over, they could do it very consistently. And just, yeah, Steve Fox was much more of a problem actually in Tekken 5 than he was in Tekken 4. But it seems like people only remember his OP-ness in Tekken 4. But he was just top tier in Tekken 4 and really annoying. But probably, honestly, one of the most OP characters of all time that's not a boss character was Jin in Tekken 4. Jazz Hands Jin was annoying but dealable, but then it was when Laser Cutter Jin came out, and if you got someone that could consistently do that just frame laser cutter, the laser cutter was a problem even without it, but like you could deal with it. But the just frame laser cutter was just ridiculous, and like, and then also, if I remember right, Tony, oh man, you need to get home. I don't want to be freaking spreading lies. If I remember right, juggles didn't matter as much in Tekken 4. It was all about wall damage. So if you miss your little wall roll thingy, like you just got murdered. And then also, players would do a thing where they'd try to set you up against the wall, but at a diagonal angle because you couldn't roll it, and like you just keep bouncing off. And like, I don't know if you could get an infinite, but I mean, you could get these like 75% combos just off bouncing the guy off the wall a couple times. And or if you could get him to face the wall or something. I don't remember what it was, but there's all these little wall tricks. But I still love Tekken 4 despite the fact that it had a lot of issues. And again, I thought it was going to go in more of an arena fighter style because with the sloping curve, or the sloping like slopes, like levels or whatever, floors, and like, yeah. So I really like Tekken 4, and I think in an alternative universe, it did go more of an arena fighter style. Like that's what they look like. And when I say arena fighter, I'm talking about like Power Stone, Urguys. Urguys is an absolute classic. Man, Tony, God damn it, I need you here. I need you here. Steve gives me PSTSD. Yes, he does. Tekken 5 Steve Infinite was hold 3, press 1, let go of 3, hold again, and do it again. Okay, yeah, you remember. It was something like that. If you get caught doing it in tournaments, you get disqualified. Juggle in Tekken 4 was terrible. Yeah, okay, I'm right. But wall damage was ridiculous in Tekken 4, wasn't it? We're going back 15, 20 years. So hey, thanks for following Mighty Max T. I gotta get water. I'll be right back 1 second. And some cake. Do you all know what that is? Do you know what you're looking at? The very last of the Trace Leches. But not just Trace Leches, the greatest Trace Leches in the history of the planet. Oh, this is going to be a bittersweet. Be a piece of cake. I'm so sorry you're gone. But But I'm so happy to finish you. Oh. Thick Jack is coming back. I've just decided I'm just letting it go. I don't care. See, I'm not allowed to talk any crap about King because that was Tony's main. And I keep referring to Tony. That's because out of my two friends, Tony and Greg, not out of my two, I had more friends than that, but they were like the two I really played fighting games with a lot, and like they were just better than me, like naturally at fighting games. Like if we all started out at something, and like 10 hours later they'd be ahead of me, and 20 hours later even more and everything. So I refer to him because he understood and could play, like he understood the mechanics to play the game at a higher level than me. And like even when I was playing the hell out of Tekken 5, oh man, and Tekken 5 though, the one annoying thing was, I don't know if I want to see if the game is still played or if we were just playing it wrong, but you used to sit there on the home console version because you want to practice for the arcade, and you just do hours and hours of dash jabs. So it'd just be like forward jab, and like if you got 6, I think it was, dash jabs with Steve, you were just the man, like, yo, God, yeah, I'm the greatest freaking ever. But like when we'd go to like from Paradise or Narrows, like arcade, especially Narrows actually more, and play against Korean players, like I could occasionally get off a cheap little victory with Christy or something, but I couldn't compete like he could. So once he gets to his house, he can probably correct me on a lot of the BS I'm spewing. I don't have MK11, no. I just played it a bit, but it was actually, I think it was MK10. There was one time Ricochet brought it over to Lucha Underground in a hotel room, and we had like 15 to 20 guys. I'm talking like it was me, Ricochet, Willie Mack, I think Phoenix was there, freaking there's just a whole bunch of people, but no one either played fighting games or no one played Mortal Kombat. So I went on, I kid you not, a 77 win streak. Ricochet will try to deny it. He was crapping himself. And he went home and played the game so hard that when he came back the next time, he destroyed us all. But the first time he got it, first time he loaded it up in that hotel room, and all I did was old Mortal Kombat 2 tactics. So like, so I always have a soft spot for MK10. Because despite the fact I know we were not playing it optimal at all, you had a whole bunch of absolute casual scrubs, and none of us knew how to play except for me. Mortal Kombat 2, it's not on here, but Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 and Trilogy, like, see, they put Mortal Kombat 1 on here, why not 2? 2 was one of my favorite games ever, and it was the fighting game I'd say I was the best at, like, and Mortal Kombat 2 also had one of the biggest arcade scenes there ever was. But, and it had all this weird stuff. I remember this one time, throws used to be super serious in the arcade. Like, that was cheap as hell. Like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing me? Like, I'm not a coward. I don't play like a turtle. And, but there was this guy, Justin, and this is in, like, the early 90s, and wannabe gangsterism had hit my small town very badly, and he was like, this wannabe blood. And I remember... I beat his Shang Tsung because he was being a turtle. I wasn't being cheap. I was throwing him not as an insult, but because that was the only way to deal with turtles. And he pushed me out of the way, and he holds up, and both starts on the arcade machine, and it turns off throws. And like that's how serious throws were. Where like you did not. Oh God, I hate that little Justin. Freaking so many problems with him over the years. I don't know, Tony. Do you remember Justin? And Mortal Kombat 2 used to have like little weird cheat codes. Not even cheat codes, but like you could do certain things when the game was starting, and it would turn stuff off. And like I'm pretty sure it was hold up on player 1 and 2, and then hold start on player 1 and 2 at the same time, and it would turn off throws. And like because throws used to be such an insult in the arcade, such an insult. Like the arcade wasn't a violent place if a fight happened over something else, but like there'd be people like, what the fuck, and they'd punch the screen and stuff, all over being thrown. Like throws used to be, and especially there used to be, I still think it's around, you used to throw a jab and then instantly throw them. I wouldn't do this, but that would be freaking serious. People would get so mad. Yeah, Justin was the arcade's a-hole. And he lived, see, I lived like 2 blocks away from the arcade, and he lived like almost right next to it. And we had this friend, Andrew Simpson, who also went through a little wannabe gangster phase. And there was one time we were walking back from the arcade and and like Justin was out there and he just starts talking crap to him. And he goes into his apartment, and it was freaking like worse than a clown car. He came out with like 25 people out of this small apartment, so we had to run so fast. And all of my friends start running to my house, and I'm like, "Hell no, you ain't bringing them to my house!" They went anyway, and like all those kids stood outside my house and were yelling up things and throwing up little gang signs and everything. And my dad had to come out and talk to him, and it was just like the most embarrassing thing because I'm like, I hope my dad doesn't think I'm going through this little wannabe gangster phase, because I'm absolutely not. Like, I don't listen to Brother Lynch or X-Rated. Like, I like the Ghetto Boys fine, but come on. MK3 had the pre-fight codes, but you would actually press the button and it would like change like a slot machine almost. And but MK2, it didn't have that. Like, you held certain inputs. I can't remember what they were, and it would do different things like. But no arcade input cheat codes. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. On either joystick, disable throws. When the versus screen comes up, hold. Okay, that's what it was. Down and high punch on both joysticks, and it would disable throws. The skeleton comes up, on the acid, hold down, skeleton, oh. Yeah, see, they had all these little stupid inputs you could do at the fight screen. And it would do it, but that's the only one I remember. I thought it was up and hold start, but no, down and hold high punch. And yeah, it would turn off throws. I can just imagine you with a do-rag and face tattoos. No, no, you can't. No, you can't. Okay, there'll never be Jack with a face tattoo, okay? Like, something went wrong in my life if there is. I was an MK nerd and I never knew about that, too. Yeah, it was. But because almost no one used it because you just want to play the game, you know what I mean? Like, maybe if you and your friend, like, agree, like, oh, let's not play with throws, but, like, then you just wouldn't use throws. Like, there's no need to ever do it. So like that little time that he pushed me out of the way. And you also got to remember, when we were in the arcade, like, we were all like 11, 12 years old, and like we were pretty much the youngest there. Like, maybe even in Street Fighter, I think we're like 9 or 10. And so everyone else was like 15, 16, 17 or even older. Like, so we didn't get bullied, but like we couldn't do nothing. Like, there's no way we were just like pulling up on little Justin and his friends and being like, "What you want, motherfucker?" Like, no, I never actually had a gangster phase. Like, that's just the Malibu's Most Wanted. Like, I dressed gangster as hell, but I didn't actually have the attitude. Yeah, probably like. But what I loved about Facing the Adult is when you were really young in the arcade, no matter what, you're just written off by the older kids. And so, like, if you were actually good at something, like, you actually got a lot of respect. Like, oh man, this kid's a prodigy, you guys see how good he is. Like, nope. Borrowed money from my parents, mowed a couple lawns, like, yeah, and just spent all that money on the arcade. That's how it happened. It's not prodigy. I actually was the troublemaker out of my friends group, but not really like that. Like, I did get in a lot of fights in school, but they were always over BS. And you all gotta remember, I'm from Parkland, Washington. And back in the day in Parkland, like, everybody fought. Everybody. Like, I'm telling you, like Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson from Parkland, Misha Tate's from Parkland, and we're all from the same time period. And, like, it's a product of your environment. Like, just everybody fought. Like, that's just how it was. So, like, getting suspended from school from fights, and you didn't get assault charges for anything. Like, now, like, my brother, like, he's 9 years younger than me. He got an assault charge, or they didn't actually go through, but I was like, half the time if you got in a fight at school, they broke it up and you guys left, or you get suspended for 3 days, which like we considered a vacation. Until they changed that, you didn't spend the suspension at home; it was in the school suspension, and that actually brought an end to a lot of the fighting at school because. Like worse than Saturday school, worse than anything. I couldn't like in school suspension mentally damaged me. Like I couldn't handle it, and a lot of other kids are like that. And so, I was a troublemaker. Like if in comparison to like some people, but like not really. Like just where I was from was very loose with a lot of things. No, like. There's one huge brawl that got started, and I was actually just the setup man. Like, it wasn't my plan. But there's a kid, Jason Beecham, who was actually cool. I was cool with him. We were on the same baseball team and everything. A giant brawl in the Keithley Middle School courtyard because this kid, Shane Frazier, got me to go behind him and stand like on all fours, like on the knees or whatever. And then he pushed him. And Jason, of course, just fell over me, but he isn't like one of those kids that's just gonna take that. Like, I thought it'd be hee hee ha ha. No, he got right up and just socked me in the face. Then he got jumped by 1.5 million people. And then at the when we all got sent to the principal's office, I think it was just normal suspension, but I got blamed as the guy that started everything, and like you couldn't just say anything, you just had to take it. But I wanted to rat him out and be like, look, this was Shane's idea. I did not want to do this. I just went along because I thought it'd be funny, and then it just turned in. So, but like that was the kind of trouble I got into. Like it wasn't, it wasn't crazy stuff. Like it was just little stuff. Snitches get stitches. That wasn't even the attitude. You just like. You don't tell on your friends. Like it wasn't like, oh no snitching. I don't know. Like, yeah, no, it wasn't like that. You just didn't do it. Like there's just, I don't know. The small town level's a bit different, I think, because it wasn't like, yeah, that's more like a New York or LA style. Like I'll kill you if you tell on me. It was just like, oh man, I just got to take this. I don't want to tell on my friends. Although that wasn't, man, this kid Anthony Clausen, who I actually love, he's a good guy, I'm not going to diss him, but we climbed up on the roof of our school, and there was this thing called Channel 1 News, and we hated it. So we yanked out the cord to the satellite, and then he got caught jumping down, and I was hiding in this bush, and he was going away. He turned around and ratted on me, showed right where I was. I was going to get away with everything and not be involved. And Freaky got in trouble, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't want to get in trouble alone. Well, that's how time of snitches should get stitches. Damn you, Anthony. But I love you. Okay, and yeah, I think that's my fighters tier list. I'm trying to think. I don't even have any more old arcade stories or games to babble about. What is that stupid noise? Not in the arcade, but man, there were definitely... Oh, actually, I do got a couple more. This game should have... There's this one game, I can't remember what it's called. It was Psychic Fighters or Psychic Force or whatever. But you were in a cube and you could fly. And so, like, there's no jumping in it. You just flew around and you could shoot stuff at them. And I remember it being super fun. Psychic Force, Psychic Fighters. What was it? Damn it, you guys are making me nostalgic. And there's another game, I think a lot of people actually remember it though, because I've seen some stuff on it, called Bloody Roar. And I can't remember, I think it was number 2. We actually played a good amount of, and it was really fun. And then the original Guilty Gear was really fun. But I never got that into it. Like, I'm way more into Strive, which I do got to start soon, than I was Guilty Gear. What was it? Psychic Force? Oh yeah, this was it. Yep. It was, oh yeah, that's what sold us on it, was it had this cool ass anime intro. This was back when I was originally a weeb, before you guys turned me back into one recently. Yeah, this is it. I just realized this, it doesn't have a single Fatal Fury nor Art of Fighting. What? Yeah, no, this list is super incomplete now that I'm thinking about it. But again, I know it would be huge if you included everything. But Fatal Fury 2 was awesome. And I remember 3 being, I think, even better. And then Art of Fighting actually kind of sucked, but I loved King. Oh, what? There's another one. It was like not the Neo Geo like King of Monsters game. There's another one. What is it, like Monster Fighters? It was 3. You went through the city and you could fight each other. Oh man, it was so fun too. Monster Fighters fighting game. I'm bad at looking stuff up. What was it? Right here's Mutant Fighter. Tony. I hope you're home. You better be. This game was awesome, I'm telling you. And this is the first game, I believe, that actually had supers. Not TMNT, not Samurai Showdown. It was this one. Everyone has forgotten about it. Yeah, that's that. And thank you. I couldn't remember the name of this game, and someone in the chat actually found it for me, and I always want to thank them. So, like, imagine the gameplay is seriously Fire Pro Wrestling combined with a fighting game. And this came out in 91. Literally came out, like, right around the time of Street Fighter. Ooh, the Blockbuster. And see right here, that super throw? First super meter ever. First super move ever, people. Right there. That was my girl, the Amazoness. Or Amazon, I think they call her the Amazoness, though. Oh, right on the head! And then she throw him up, grab him, and knee him. Bam! That was the first super I've ever done. Bam! They have the coolest wrestling moves ever in this game. I forgot. No, I think there's a Hydra too, because that one sucked, come on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, first a tuner drop, yes, and this one. Pazuzu. See, oh man, Pazuzu. The Exorcist Demon. I never got that far. I never even seen Pazuzu until right now. Oh, you know what game's also missing from this list? I'm sorry. I know I should be playing fighting games for Fighting Game Friday. Bushido Blade. We played the ever-living crap out of Bushido Blade. And I invented the greatest style ever. And that was called hit him once, run for the dickens, and then just randomly turn around and try to hit him again. Run for the dickens. Like, that was my whole style in Bushido Blade. I just constantly ran everywhere. Google Samurai Showdown, but this movie had come up before. Yeah, no, it for sure was. The thing is, I think because this is a kind of has it as a grapple system, so it's kind of like a hybrid wrestling game, that maybe people aren't putting it under the fighting game genre, but it absolutely was. It's a fighting game. And it's so fun, actually. I'm willing to bet it still holds up to this day. It was so great. Oh, he's teabagging! He's teabagging! What? Mutant Fighters is the freaking originator of the teabag? Talk about a game ahead of its freaking time. Oh, wow. Let's look at that again. That's a teabag. That is a teabag. Wow. Wow. People, this is groundbreaking. I never knew that Mutant Fighters was that far ahead of its time where it already knew. It already knew about the teabag. Wow, that's incredible. Slam Masters and Def Jam. Slam Masters was great. Oh yeah. Saturday Night Slam Masters, no? Saturday Night Slam Masters. Oh yes, this was awesome. This was awesome. So great, this game. I bet you this game holds up today too. Oh, and of course, one of the best wrestling games ever. Who made this? Alright, okay, I do think I'm finally done reminiscing about games and correcting incorrect information, such as Samurai Showdown was the first to have super moves. It was not. And we now know where the teabag came from. Even if it didn't popularize it, it was also Mutant Fighters. First teabag. First teabag. I'm so impressed. And, alright, for real. And why is Bust a Move on there? Okay. For real, we'll get to playing. I don't want to be waiting 21 minutes for people to tell you why Street Fighter Cross Tekken sucked. But Tony, it sucked. It sucked. Yeah, I said it. We all know it. Okay. Another Tom Warchester. I gotta run some errands. POV real quick. Oh, Marvelous. Oh God, he's cowarding out. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I would too. You know what I mean? The gameplay was about to start. And the nostalgia was over. Tony, do you have Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Maybe that should. Man, I gotta get some Strive time in. I only play Strive every Friday for a couple hours, and my goal is just to get to floor 10 with Gio and then switch to Gold Lewis. But at the rate I'm at now, I don't think it's gonna happen because the skill level's going up while I'm staying the same. So like, man, I got knocked down from floor 8 to floor 7, and like, I think I'm almost about to get knocked down to floor 6. I gotta put in a bit of work on that. Okay, I can't be that big of a casual scrub. Yeah, Street Fighter is Kenny's game. He'd murder me in Street Fighter. He's really good. Like I said, except for maybe Mortal Kombat 2, but it was very mechanically simple back then. Like I've never probably reached his level at any fighting game. Mrs. didn't want a coffee today? No, she did not. And I don't know if my heart and lungs could take another run like that. Okay. Like thinking Street Fighter Cross Tekken was actually anything that remotely resembled something decent? You have to. You have to. Oh, this hurts. This hurts. Don't do it, Jack. Don't do it. The things you make me do. Recent reviews? Very positive. All reviews mixed. Okay, there we go. That's how it's supposed to be. Gosh dang it. Oh. 31 hours of Skullgirls on record? I haven't played it even close to. Oh, I must have just left the game on. I did that with Doom Eternal as well. So Oh, what's really funny when I look at my like most games played, it's Dungeon Fighter Online by a large amount. That's because I just leave the game on for days and let the Explorer Club just run again and again and again and again and again and again because if you're online while it's running, everything goes faster. So like, man, someone would look at me and be like, whoa, this guy plays a lot of Dungeon Fighter. How does he only have one level 100 character and a level 31 character? Man. So earlier today, I switched this pre-workout that's super stim heavy, and like it's messed me up. Like it's dry. No matter how much water I drink, I can't get this dry mouth feeling out. And like even now, my skin's still tingly. And I'm like, man, maybe I need to switch back to something lighter because it was a bit intense. $30 minutes or so? Okay. Can you do an impression of El Zorro? No, I can't. You don't want to hear me do an impression of anybody. Like, I don't do impressions. I don't do accents. Oh God. Okay. Purchase for myself. This should be purchased as a gift because I'm giving my friend Tony a gift of a correct opinion. I'm not even kidding. It won't let me get Street Fighter Cross Tekken. This is the Steam knows. Steam freaking knows. Wow. Wow. This must be some kind of like new AI thing or something. Here, hold on, I gotta turn on the screen. I'm telling you all, I'm not even lying. Look at this, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I can't actually buy the game. I can only buy a costume pack and a complete pack. Oh. I'm sorry, Tony, I tried to help you out with your incorrect opinion, and the Capcom doesn't want to let me. Even Capcom's given up on it, it just knows.